Hi Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your September 1st to the 15th, 2025 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so very much for doing so. And if you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, a healing, or a gift card, check out my websites, danehartguidedmessages.com or daneharttarot.com. They both work. They're listed in the description box below, and I look forward to reading for you. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Sagittarius, let's see what the tarot has to say. So we say, let's see what our tarot has to say, but that doesn't make much sense. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, guide this reading, and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly, guide this reading, and show me clearly, angels. And 2 bonus cards. Awesome. Lucky ducks. Okay. Let me just center myself. All right, Sagittarius. At the heart of it all is the 5 of Cups. So this is going to be a really transformative time for us. It is going to be a time of changing our mind, changing our life, and really pulling ourselves out of negativity and into this place of healing and positivity. So we're turning away from seeing what, kind of like how the die has been cast, and lamenting, thinking, oh, I could have done this better, I could have done that better. And now we're really going to see healing and love and power and authority of soul and self moving us forward, meaning that we're not seeing ourselves trapped anymore by hurts, pains, and disappointments. And we are looking at our life and saying, I am celebrating being alive, and I am celebrating being me. And it brings us to the challenge, which is the Hangman, which is going to be kind of looking at things differently, but also, understanding that the gaining of wisdom is often painful, it's often overwhelming, and it can make us feel kind of like outsiders to others on this earthly plane, and make us feel like I don't really know, I don't know how to move forward, I don't know what it is that I want, I don't know. And that's just because you are a seeker and a questioner. You don't know. When people say I have the answer, they might have the answer for them. It does not mean that it's the answer for everyone. So here you are looking at yourself and your world quite differently, and you are also having the challenge of accepting that you yourself are different. Because if you've stumbled across this channel, if you've been here for a while, first of all, thank you. And if you've stumbled here, welcome, most definitely. But you're different. Walking upon this earth gently is a hard thing to do. Walking upon this earth kindly is a hard thing to do in a world that seems to be so loud and brash and cruel at times. So here it is letting yourself be different and letting yourself embrace that. It moves us then to where we need to focus. And that is on the Wheel of Fortune. And what we're going to see is that the world is changing. We're entering into a new season of our lives, a new season of ourselves, a new season of what we want and what we're looking for and where we're going. And it's also a new season of acceptance of our heart and what brings us joy and how we're moving forward. So that is a beautiful thing, and that is a powerful thing. But what we're needing to focus on here is change and transformation, deeper insights to what we want, deeper insights to what we're looking for. And it brings us then to what we're leaving behind. Now, the energy that's ending is that there seems to be like a closing of a door, like a closing of a chapter. The Two of Wands are doors opening, right? And we've had those doors open, or we could have walked a different path, right? And what we're going to see here is that like that time's time is done. The die has been cast. The choice has been made. Now I walk forward. Now I walk forward in the power and beauty of me. And it brings us to a place here of the Nine of Swords. And I think that's so interesting. That the Nine of Swords, for the first half of September have been coming up. Here it's our strength. It's been coming up in very positive places. And yet the Nine of Swords is a very intense card. It has to do with nightmares. But here I see it as facing nightmares, facing doubts and fears that we have had, facing what has made us overwhelmed, what has stopped us, what has kept us from really embracing our dreams, embracing what we want. It's the overthinking, it's the overanalyzing, and it's the thought of I'm not enough, I'm not good enough. And you're going to see that you're releasing that mindset now and you're setting yourself free. And as you set yourself free, and that is your greatest strength, it moves us to a place of justice. It moves us to a place of things becoming balanced. Now, justice is Libra energy. September 23rd to October 22nd is the time frame. So we'll be moving into Libra time frame right after Virgo time frame, the Virgo time frame that we're in right now. This is balance. This is also like we could be, for some of us, we're entering into a legal time, like we could be solving legal issues. So, or we're not, maybe lawyers are, but just being aware of that. This is a time of a balancing of the scale, of justice being done, of voices being heard. And that is a very, very powerful thing, a very, profound energy that moves us forward. We are also going to see a balancing of ourselves. We cannot please everyone. And so we need to look at what our soul is longing for, how we need to move forward for us, our own creative magic and insight and understanding, balancing the scales, moving us forward intuitively, powerfully, and prosperously. Our world does not have an epidemic of happiness. It has an epidemic of loneliness and anger and frustration. And so here, as we're balancing our energies, we're looking at the dual side of ourselves as well, right? I believe it's in I don't know which Native American lore it is in, but it is the two wolves, where one is starving and the other is not. And the starving wolf eats the good wolf. And it is our anger that can eat us alive. So here it is looking at the balance of our energy, of ourselves, in harmony and in respect of being. It moves us then to the advice. And the advice is that we're too fixated on one way of doing things. And Spirit's like, that's not your path. And we're going to see that during this time, that maybe some paths that we thought were our paths, some ways that we thought of moving things forward, that's not for us. And our life is going to be changed. And our life is going to be changed because we're looking at the path that divinity brings us. I always think of the Four of Cups, I think of the cups as the Holy Grail, right? Because those were the cups that the king and the queen and the knight and the page are holding. But that had to be such a crude, rudimentary cup, So just think of the Four of Cups, of like these beautiful golden cups all around you. And then there's the Holy Grail, right? Just this crude, rudimentary bowl/cup. Would you turn from it? And we turn from it because we don't think it's worth something, right? In our modern world, we want, or even in the ancient world, right? We want the glittery, gold, shiny thing. But maybe the thing that was lovingly crafted and powerfully, called upon is what we should be focusing on. And maybe that isn't always dressed up the way that we think it should be. And so here with the Four of Cups, it doesn't have to be that we're stubbornly looking at one way of doing things, but Spirit pulls us out of that energy and says, you have to look at this, right? It can be a very abrupt, like, I have to pay attention to this. This needs my attention now. Okay, fine. But it is also the sense of, this doesn't mean anything to me anymore. What about this? That looks lesser, but is actually more. And it brings us then to the environment. And this is the Seven of Swords. So this is very interesting because the environment, the Seven of Swords is lies. So the Seven of Swords, with it being lies, is like we have an environment that we're not always having the truth said to us. And we're having to kind of suss out lies and deceptions, doubts and fears. So being aware of this, that truth is being masked from us during this time. We are getting justice, most definitely, but truth is being masked from us. And it brings us to our hopes and our fears. And this is the Page of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So if you have Earth sign energy in your chart, if you have Earth sign energy in your life, that comes through very powerfully, just like the Libra energy does. With the Page of Pentacles, our hopes and our fears. Our hopes are that we will always have this kind of exploratory spirit of being able to embrace prosperity and being able to embrace success and not being held back by a rigidity of mind that says success can only come this way, because we want to call forward as much prosperity as possible in our lives. We hope for those abilities, for the doors to open, for the coffers to overflow, and for wealth and abundance to come in. We fear that we will always be children, play acting at being an adult, right? Play acting of knowing what the heck we're doing and only dreaming about success and money and prosperity and wealth. And so we have a fear here. But what we're seeing is that we're wearing a mask for ourselves, and we need to take that mask off. So the Page of Pentacles is us looking at who we truly are and what we truly want, and being open and honest with us in kind of like that childlike, out of the mouth of babes type of way. And so there's something here that your soul is saying needs to resonate with you around money. It doesn't mean that we all need to follow our dreams and quit our day jobs and go and join the circus type of thing. What it does mean is that success, money, or what you value as much as money, will be enhanced as you embrace your creativity, your soul, your spirit, and your tenacity. It brings us then to the outcome, and that is the Knight of Wands. We are represented by the Wands in the Minor Arcana. Sagittarius, this is our fire, this is our tenacity. I love the candles on top of her head. I think that is just the most beautiful. I love this picture. So here, we're having illumination come forward. We are having our lives illuminated, ourselves illuminated, insight that is guiding us. And we can find this to be a time that feels like a little bit of a wild ride. It feels a little bit intense or overwhelming or fiery. It feels fiery. What we're going to see is that we're moving forward in passion. This is a time of movement forward, even if it feels like we're standing still, because we are transforming. And as we are transforming, old shells cracking away, old ideas cracking away, we will find ourselves in a new place. And we will find ourselves new. Like we will find ourselves tenacious and determined and insightful. And it brings us, and we're not going to be okay with just sitting by and letting life happen. No, this is going to be a time where we are determined, we are focused, we are wanting to be in the nitty and gritty of it all. We want to be part of our success and pushing it forward tenaciously. We are very grounded here on the earthly plane, meaning that physical success, physical prosperity means something to us. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we are more spiritually minded and guided, and that's how our angels move us forward. But this is going to be a time where we're much more grounded here on this earthly plane, really focusing on positive outcomes for us in the here and now. It moves us to the Hermit, very strong Virgo energy. We are in Virgo time frame. Time frame of Virgo is August 23rd to September 22nd. And then we have the Tower. This is a time of change. And I know that it can be scary to see the Tower come forward because everybody's like, oh no, a Tower time, everything's going to crumble. But with this amount of change that comes forward, I'm not surprised to see the Tower at all. And I don't think you are really either, because with the Tower is the fact that what you had once imagined is not necessarily the way that life is going to go. And that's something that we come to the realization to as we grow, as we are older, as we realize that the dreams that we had when we were 15 years old, mapping out our whole entire lives, like we absolutely knew and had control over the winds of fate and, other people's emotions. we are looking here and now and seeing how much we have changed, how much life has changed. And so with the Tower, we are going to see that within ourselves again. We're going through a transformative period. And this is a transformative period when we realize that it is through turning inward that we have the key. It is through connecting fully and openly and honestly with ourselves, our dreams, and what we desire that we start to open up doors. And what was once there, we don't really want to go back to. We are creating something new, something more beautiful. something more authentic. Not like that word gets thrown around a lot, but it is more resonant with our spirit, our soul, and ourselves. And it moves us forward to a place of prosperity. It moves us forward to a place of change and really what we desire. But this is going to be, I want to say, like the first part of the rest of our lives where we change a course of fate. Like we spin the wheel of fortune and we land on jackpot because we are landing on truly seeing ourselves and truly saying, this is what I want. And not saying, how do I please everybody else? And again, as long as we come from a place of love, compassion, and respect, we let ourselves shine. It moves us to our spirit message. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Osprey. It says, your success is now at hand. Allow the abundance to flow through to you effortlessly. And now it's time to come forward. Now it's time to come forward and claim your success. The osprey was a sacred bird to Poseidon in Greek mythology. And so here you're going to see that something sacred comes forward to you. And it is your success. It is your prosperity. Again, it doesn't mean that we're all going to be rolling in dough and be the richest people in the world, but it means that we will be happy with our lives, contented within our souls and ourselves, living quietly, gently, and I want to say communicatively, like communicating with others, but also connecting with our community, not being isolated and alone and distraught. And I think that's really important. I think that's what our world misses. It moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. This is meditation. This is the crown chakra. We are crowned with peace. As we meditate, connecting with our heart, our mind and our heart, talking to each other and giving ourselves the sacred time of meditation to let that heart-mind connection really open up is going to be very, very important for us. It moves us then to the energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. This is the Fool. We are afraid of taking leaps of faith. We are afraid of being seen as foolish to others. There could be this urge to be respected, to be seen, to be completely understood. And here's the thing, not everybody's going to respect you and not everybody's going to understand you. If we hold to kind of like the pillars of walking gently on this earth, of respecting and loving ourselves and moving forward kindly, we will see the change come beautifully, gradually, and personally. We are afraid to take that leap of faith because we have taken it before and we've fallen and everything has fallen apart. But everything is changing now. Not necessarily falling apart, but what was old is being knocked down and replaced by something more aligned to us, more correct. It's kind of like remodeling a home. You don't have to knock the whole house down and start again. It's like, no, you know what? Those curtains don't fit anymore. That furniture isn't right. We are letting go what once was, and we are recreating ourselves. And that's a beautiful thing. It moves us then to our spirit energy, subconscious spirit energy, and it's the blackbird. It says the magical and unique qualities of your untapped potential are unfolding now. And they are. You're seeing yourself in a new light, in a new way. There's new power, new prosperity, new determination to you. It moves us to the subconscious chakra energy. And this is, again, the crown chakra coming through. So your mind is absolutely undeniably powerful. And this is peace. Meditate on peace. Let your energy move towards peace. When you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, when you feel yourself, getting frayed at the edges, connecting with peace is going to be really, really, really important. But it's also that peace that's going to call out what is bringing disconnect and disharmony into your existence. It moves us then to the subconscious energy to be mindful of. And that's the Prince of Wands. So the Prince of Wands is also our outcome, because the Prince of Wands here, this is the Knight of Wands in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, as is the Messenger of Fire, right? We have to name things differently. We can be too hot-headed. We can want too much change. We can get too frustrated with things being stuck and just charge forward. We are also, not can be, we are also going to be very drawn to people who are fiery, who are tenacious, who are determined, who are pushing boundaries. And not all those boundaries need to be pushed, right? They don't need to be as fiery as they are, and they can be consuming. So just be mindful about that, because they're going to share our spark. But not with the pillars of love, peace, acceptance, and respect. They can cause a lot of chaos. It moves us to our subconscious terror message, and that is the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is success, is prosperity. If you were looking for an answer subconsciously, it's yes. So just being aware of that during this time is important, and you're going to see yourself move forward in power, tenacity, determination, and really opening up the doors to what you want and where you want to be. All right. All right, Sagittarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Sagittarius. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. Have a blessed beginning of September and a blessed life. Bye.